You guys, I am back again today to talk about some gender things and some things that I have found researching, and also going to touch a little bit on health disparities regarding the transgender population. So, believe it or not, before I came to the conclusion that I was non-binary or transmasc, I did not do any research on people who had already transitioned and what made them want to transition. I didn't join very many support groups or anything like that, mostly because I felt like if I did, it would shade my beliefs about myself. So I wanted to make sure it was completely and wholly my decision before I examine some of these stories and the things that other people have gone through. That being said, since I decided last week, I figured I would go ahead and join more support groups, join some subreddits about female to male transition and stuff like that. And on gender, I noticed some kind of disturbing opinions and behaviors from other transgender folk. One of the big things I notice is that a lot of people who transitioned completely from female to male, from male to female, have very specific ideas about what that gender should wear. Now, this may be in the minority, but I like the clothes that I wear. I pick them because they're comfortable and I like the way that they look. And I like the way that I feel in my clothes. Some of them are traditionally masculine clothes. Some of them are traditionally feminine clothes. I don't plan on rearranging my wardrobe after I start hormone therapy because I bought my clothes because I like them. I'm taking hormone therapy because I don't like my body, not the clothes that I put on it. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, seeing a bunch of trans guys, talking about how a lot of trans guys shouldn't be wearing feminine clothing, or it means that they're not wanting to be cis males, really. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. Because like I said, like right now I'm wearing a t-shirt, right? And that's fine. But I'm also wearing like super fucking tight pants because I like these pants. I like them. They're cozy. They're my style. So with that being said, I'm glad I didn't look at how other people transition, because I feel like that would have shaded my beliefs about myself and kept me from discovering that it was my body that I wanted to change, not my clothes. So I feel like if I would have seen a lot of that beforehand, that I wouldn't have taken the step to do hormone therapy, because I would have thought I was a fraud. And I did for a long time. It took a long time to come to terms with the fact that I wanted to start hormone therapy. But I'm glad I made that mental journey on my own, and that I researched hormone therapy outside of the traditional transitional box. Another thing I discovered while making my research, or doing my research, was that there's not a lot of research in general to anything related to transgender health. We know side effects of, specific hormones and what they do to the body, but we knew that before we use them in transgender health, because other cis people have to have hormone therapy for various reasons. But yeah, there's a shocking lack of research. As a matter of fact, about 75% of the articles that I ran across were articles calling for more research into transgender health. And I understand that transitioning happening on a regular basis in a medical setting hasn't really been a thing until like the last decade or so. I mean, definitely under the table and using black market hormones and whatnot to achieve the desired appearance that our fellow trans family has done in the past. But I want it to be safe for us. I want to fully understand the consequences of lifelong hormone therapy. I'm not saying this as an argument. I feel like a lot of people use this as an argument against transgender folks because they are doing that fake caring, like, oh, you shouldn't transition. It's going to adversely affect your health. Like, yeah, it might, but your high blood pressure is probably going to affect your health too, Becky, so fuck off. Everything has a risk reward. So I just want to be sure that we are really given a chance to analyze that risk and reward as trans people who choose to undergo hormonal therapy. Yeah, it was honestly shocking. And the way that insurance works, well, of course, I'm in America, so fuck me, right? The way that insurance works really works against transgender people receiving the preventative health care that they need to thrive. So if somebody decides to legally transition from female to male, but say they still haven't had bottom surgery yet, and they have a vagina, they have a cervix, they have a uterus, these things need to be examined. You still have to have PAPs every 3 years to check for cancer. So what happens when insurance doesn't cover that pap smear? Now, if anybody's wondering, there are resources such as Planned Parenthood that will help you out. But in my opinion, this shouldn't be an issue. What about the testicular cancer in male to females? Those kind of examinations aren't properly covered, and I feel like insurance should cover the examinations that you need based on the body parts that you have. Now, yes, some trans people choose to get those body parts removed and whatnot, and at which point that's, a non-issue, but there need to be more focused preventative health care examinations. There need to be more focused preventative health care lab work, lab works and stuff like that done. There need to be different ways of administering physicals and getting medical history. We need to put patients at ease when we ask them if they have had any non-prescription medication. Like, a lot of people fear that they're going to be thrown in prison if they tell the doctor that they used illicit drugs or drugs that are not, prescribed, or drugs that they got, off the black web somewhere. Like, that's not the case. People in healthcare just want to know so they know how to take care of you. So that's another thing too, is patient education. We need to not only strive to get that information from people, but we also need to give them information. We need to tell them how we intend to use their information. I know I feel like I said in my last video that I'm going to nursing school right now. I'm also a medical assistant. I can't tell you how many times I've had people come in and I'm trying to take their medical history and they refrain or they're hesitant about telling me, everything that they're putting into their body. And as healthcare professionals, we're not here to put anybody in jail. We're not here to report anybody. And a good medical professional isn't going to discriminate, which unfortunately, that's another thing that we do have to deal with when trying to take care of ourselves, is discrimination. I haven't experienced it yet because I don't pass as a trans masculine person yet. I appear female and I haven't really revealed to my doctors, but I do understand that context in mental illness. Like if you reveal to doctors that you do have a mental illness, sometimes they tend to not take you as seriously. But anyway, that's kind of what I want to talk about today. It's actually kind of lit a fire under my ass to want to pursue endocrinology as a specialty field as a nurse, because I want to help in that research and gathering information so that we can make better protocols, so that we can determine the best way to take care of transgender people. Besides that, good news. I am going to go get a haircut tomorrow, which it's well needed. I have an undercut that's like really grown out, so I need to fix that. I'm probably going to shave the sides off somehow and keep it long on top to do the mohawk deal. I used to have that. That was my favorite haircut ever. So going for something similar. I also have an appointment tomorrow to get fitted for a binder. I know that I could order those online, but there is a local business that is very trans friendly, that sells packers, that sells binders, that sells prosthetic breasts to transgender people, and I want to show my support with my money. Very limited money, but nonetheless. So I'm going to be going to get fitted for a binder and purchase one from them. And then my appointment will be here on Monday. So expect a follow-up video from me on Monday or Tuesday, depending. I get kind of busy sometimes. Talk about the binder. I'll talk about, of course, I'll get to show you my new haircut. And we'll talk about how that first appointment with my primary care doctor went, to talk about hormone replacement therapy. And we'll get to see if I come back with a prescription on the first day or not. I do know that they're going to be doing lab work, so we will see. Until then, have fun, be safe, be yourself. Don't let anybody influence your opinion on how you should take care of your body and the things that you want to put on your body. Love you guys.